That is completely full of Wii consoles. So I'll pull that out. And as you can see, there is absolutely loads of it here. Right, I really wish I'd have filmed that because this is the best Wii disc pull that I have ever done. Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new around here, my name's Tom. I buy stuff and I sell stuff on eBay, Vinted, whatnot, wherever I can to make a profit, and that is how I make a living. So we've got a lot to do today, so let's flip the camera around and I'll show you what we're up to. Right, so I'll start off by showing you the sales I've made over today and yesterday. We sold a Crystal Xbox controller for £24. We've sold a Nintendo DSi XL for £70. I've sold a Wii console bundle for £61. We've sold an Xbox One controller for £20. I've also sold a boxed Panasonic cassette player that went for £35 and it was faulty. That would have gone for about 60-70 if it was working. Unfortunately it wasn't, but I'm still happy with £35. We also sold a PSP for £70. That sold immediately after listing it. And then we sold a faulty iPod Classic 3rd generation for £20. Now those are all packed up and ready to go. Now I've got one last thing that I still need to pack, and that is the Wii bundle that I sold. Now I was looking through the boxes of all my cleaned and tested Wii stuff. I managed to find everything I need, but I didn't have any sensor bars left. So what I've had to do is go and rummage around the unit to try and find one. And then in typical ADHD fashion, I got completely sidetracked and I ended up just pulling out all of the Wii stuff that I had in the unit. So I've rummaged through every single shelf, every single bag. It's taken me a couple of hours, but I thought if I'm gonna test one sensor bar, I'm going to need a console, I'm going to need a cable, I'm going to need a few bits. So then, yeah, I decided to just get all of it out. And as you can see, there is absolutely loads of it here. We've got remotes, we've got cables, we've got sensors, we've got a big mountain of consoles, we've got wheels in here, and then in this box we've got all the silicone covers and all of the wrist straps. That all needs to go in the washing machine. I've pulled out all the old batteries from all the old controllers. They need to be disposed of. And then we've got a few little odds and sods in here, spare covers and stuff. So what I'm going to do is give you a nice little demonstration of my new testing station. So as you can see, I've got 3 monitors here, which allows me to test 3 consoles at once. Now the first thing that I need to do is actually move all of this from here because it's actually in the way of me being able to use the monitors. I didn't think that one through. I'm going to move all of that over there, and then we're going to go through all the consoles first and eject them and see if there's any discs hiding inside those. But before we do that, I've just remembered that I've got another job lot which I picked up yesterday, and I think there's a lot more Wii stuff in there. So if we're going to test the Wii stuff and get through all of it, I may as well go and get all of that in first, pull all the Wii stuff out, and then we will start to tackle the testing. So if we come on out to the van, as you can see, we've got lots of bags, lots of different bits. So let's get all this out and we'll see what we've got. Right, so here we go. This is all the bits that I've pulled out. I'll give you a quick little rummage of what we've got in here. So we've got a load of PS2 games in there. You can see loads of Wii stuff there. Got a little SNES thing, Wii U in there, some more Wii bits. That is completely full of Wii consoles, so I'll pull that out. We've got a bag of controllers, probably going to be Wii stuff in there, some PS1 stuff, more controllers, Wii stuff. We do have a boxed one there. I won't be testing that now. Any boxed ones will just go on the shelf. I'll test that when I get to it. A Wii Fit board, a couple of Segas, a bag of cameras, games, some nice steel books there. Those are cool. More games, more cameras, more games, consoles, Humax boxes, and then a big bag of Lego. So I'm rapidly running out of space in this unit already, but I need to find somewhere to put all of this. I do have one shelf cleared here, and we've got 2 shelves on the top there which are pretty clear as well. I do have my pile of stuff to keep for my collection. That's all stuff that's in excellent or mint condition. That is all going home with me, so I'm going to move that out the way, I think, and then try and get that all onto these 3 shelves. Right, so that's that done. I've managed to squeeze it all into 2 shelves. Now, one thing I have started to do when I get these job lots in, instead of chucking them on shelves in bags like that, taking up loads of space, I've been taking all of it out and stacking it all up neatly like this. and that way it just saves so much space. Like if that was still in the bags, it would take up like 4 shelves. So by doing that, we've crammed it into this nice little space. Up there, it's just bags of all the controllers and cameras, and then all these bits are just loose. But it's good having it like that because now I can actually see what I've got. But with that done, I'm now going to put these little slips in here. So this tells me where it's from, how much I paid, and when I bought it, and that just helps me keep track of what is what. And then this is all the Wii stuff that we pulled out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consoles, load of wheels and controllers and cables. So my next job is to add that to the Wii stack, and then we'll get testing. Right, so we've added all that stuff to the stack. I've had to move everything over here so that we've got a little bit of space on the testing station to actually test the consoles. But before we start testing them, the first thing I want to do is the fun part. I'm going to plug all these in and I'm going to go through and see what discs we can find inside. I won't film it because that'll take ages to go through every one, but I'll just do that off camera and then I'll show you what we've found. Right, I really wish I'd have filmed that because this is absolutely insane. Now, I know I'm going to get people in the comments saying that I planted these, but I honestly didn't. This is unbelievable. This is definitely the best Wii disc pull that I've ever done. So we've got Mario Kart, Mario Party 8, Wii Sports Resort, Mario Kart. We've got a modded console there with a backup game in it. We've got Wii Sports, Mario Party, Mario Kart, Mario Bros, Mario Kart, Wii Sports, Mario Kart, Wii Sports, and then 2 Mario Bros. Look at that. Now, I'm not exactly sure how much that comes to, but if I was to sell all those discs individually, that comes to probably over £100 worth of discs. And we did also get a 2 GB SanDisk memory card and a 1 GB memory card as well. So that's nice. I can use that to put in a digital camera, and I've got a quantity listing for those. I think I sell those for about £8. Now, if we come over to our empty case shelf, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have cases for a lot of those games. So we've got Mario Kart, oh my God, Mario Party 8. Oh mate, you're definitely going to say I've been planting these because I've got all the bloody cases. What else have we got? Let's have a look. Mario Kart, Wii Sports Resort, 2 of them. Look at that, mental. Right, let's see how many of these we can case up. Now the thing is, I'll probably not even sell these in the cases. I use these for my quantity listings for my Wiis, but Wii Sports Resorts are quite hard to get hold of. As you see, there's only 1 in there, so I can't use those. We've definitely got a few Mario... Oh, that one's in there. Nice. We've got another Mario Kart there. See if we can fill these up. Another one there. Oh my God, there's 1 in there as well. Mario Party 8, that's probably the best one. Look at that. Disc's nice. Manual 2. And then we've got 1 more Mario Kart without manual. Let's find one. Now, I did have a load of Wii Sports sleeves, but I sold those on a Whatnot show the other day. So I could have sleeved these up. But again, these will just go towards my quantity listing. All these ones without cases, they'll go in the quantity. I'll probably sell those on their own. Wii Party, now I think you can still get like a tenner for that as a disc only, so I'll probably sell that on its own. The rest of that, oh, these are good. Unfortunately, I don't have cases for these. Again, I think you probably get like £8 each for them, maybe £5 each, not sure. Another Mario Kart, and then I think the rest of that is like foddery. Wii Fit Plus, I need those, and again for a quantity listing. Batman 2, I might actually have. I'm going to leave that one there so I know that's the modded one. Robbie Williams, Wii Fit Plus, Just Dance, I might have a case for that. Fishing Frenzy, fodder. Cooking Mama, that's actually quite a good one, I think. And then Madagascar, look at that, beautiful. Right, I've just come back to the case shelf and realised I have another one, Just Dance 15. I think what's happened here, so these games and consoles, they all come in job lots. These are probably, that was probably originally in that case, and that's come in the same job lot, but they've ended up sort of 1 in the console, 1 on this shelf. So we can case that one. With Batman 2, I think I might have. I did see a Batman. No, I didn't. Star Wars, that's what I saw. Call of Duty, don't have. Just Dance 2, look at that, Just Dance 3 there. And then Wii Fit Pluses. So these discs that I don't have cases for, basically I'll just stick them here. I did have about over 100 discs that I'd built up. Again, I sold that on a Whatnot show the other day, and I probably did have cases for a lot of them, but I just don't normally have time to check. But yeah, I'm very pleased with that. So I might actually have cases for these as well. So any Wii boards, Wii Fits and stuff like that, they all just get sort of chucked in here, but I think I have got some empty Wii Fit cases somewhere in here. Let's have a look. No. Now these don't actually sell that often, to be honest. They used to fly out, but I think around Christmas time, there's one. Yeah, around Christmas time, these absolutely fly out, so it's worth just stocking them up. Wii Fit there. Those are all Wii Fits. So there we go, another case. I'll chuck them all back in there and we'll get back to the testing. Right, so this is how we're looking with the testing. So as you can see, I can do 3 of them at once, which is going to save me loads of time. So I'm individually testing the AV cables, the sensor, the power bricks, obviously the consoles, each controller, each nunchuck. Everything is going to get thoroughly tested. I would always recommend testing the actual cables themselves. Some people think, oh, there's no need because they always work, but actually they don't always work. Sometimes the sensors don't work, sometimes the power bricks don't work, and again, same with the AV cables. So I would say you have to test them really. Unfortunately, I've only got 4 AA batteries. So what I've had to do, I've ransacked the sort of junk battery pile and I found a couple of rechargeable ones there. So I've just stuck those into my recharging station. This thing is wicked. You can charge AA, AAA, 9 volts, all different, any size battery really. Got that off Amazon. It's probably about 15 quid. If you want to know what it is, that's the brand there. So once that's charged, I obviously can then do 3 at once. And the way that I test these, I put Mario Kart into each one. So that tests if the disk drive reads. And then I do 1 race. Well, I'll do about 10 seconds of a race. You plug the nunchuck in and then you can see if that is actually connecting into there properly. Sometimes they don't. If they don't, they usually just need it clean with a bit of alcohol. So you can test the remote, the nunchuck, and then mid-race, I press the home button and then you can check the vibration and the speaker, because these have got speakers inside them. Just turning these on isn't enough to test them really, because sometimes the actual motion thing is broken on the inside of these. But yeah, I'll go into that in a bit more detail. I'm gonna just wait for that to charge a little bit. While we're waiting for that, I'll start on these 2 and then we'll go from there. Right, so we'll start with this one. So basically just start your race. I always pick the purple guy because he's the best one with that motorbike. When I'm actually playing this game, I always win with him. Okay, so what we're testing here, we need to test the nunchuck, so that's working. Obviously, when I'm steering with that nunchuck, that means it's connecting to the remote. As I say, sometimes it doesn't. Check the motion, see that's saying dodgy connection. Right, so that's one thing that we can fix. I'll show you how to do that quickly, it's very easy. So as I'm going through these, if they ever have a dodgy connection, it's usually just because the connections are a little bit dirty. So you go over it with a bit of alcohol, nice and easy. Just clean that out in there. And then I use my little hoover just to blow it out. It's actually better with the blower. You don't want to plug them in while they're wet. Right, that should do it. Plug it back in. Now we can see if that's worked, and that has indeed worked. All the steering's working. So now mid-race, I'll press the home button, and then if you go over to Wii Remote settings, you can now test the volume and the vibration on the remote. So if you just click the vibration on and off, you can see that's vibrating. The sound, you can hear that, so that's working. So as soon as that's done, we know everything works. We then just go back to the Wii menu. You can take the disc out now, and then all we've got to do is format it. So we go on Wii settings, go right twice, format, Wii system memory, format, format, format. So that's that one done. Click OK there. That'll now power off. So now we know we've got a tested nunchuck, remote, console, cables. So now I can wrap all that up, put it away. That'll be there ready for cleaning. And then obviously we just repeat that process. It's going to take a while because we've got quite a few to get through. As you can see, this is an absolute mammoth task. I didn't intend on doing this today. It all started out because I needed a sensor for this. Actually, that's a good point. I need to not forget to post that. So I'm actually going to pack that now that I have a tested sensor. Right, so we're slowly getting through everything. I am now going through and testing to see if all the Wii MotionPlus adapters work. So I thought I'd just show you how to do this. So the first thing you want to do is put Wii Sports Resort into the console. You want to boot the game up. Now, if it's the first time you've ever put Wii Sports Resort in the console, you'll have to watch a 2-minute video explaining like how to plug the adapter in and stuff. It's really annoying. But after the first time you've done it, you don't have to do it again. So now when you start the game, it will prompt you to plug in the MotionPlus adapter. So you put the remote flat on the table like that. You plug your adapter in. It's a bit difficult to do this with one hand. There we go. And then it'll start checking to see if it registers that it's plugged in or not, which it has. And then all I do is basically just do a few seconds of this skydive. So if we just start that, and then all you do, just make sure that your character moves around like that. And as long as it does, that means the adapter's working. Then mid skydive, we take the remote out and it will prompt you to plug it in again. So we know that that one works. So then all I do, pull out another one. Again, difficult with one hand. You plug that in. If it works, it'll start checking it again. So that's registered. You move it around. So now we know that that one works. So then all you do obviously is just repeat the process until they're all done. So I've just plugged this one in and it's checking it, but it's not actually working. So if it doesn't get past this screen, that means there is something wrong with the adapter. So as you can see there, it says not completed, may not function correctly. So this is why you do need to test these, because they do sometimes not work. Right, so one thing you can try if it doesn't work, again, like I showed you earlier, a little bit of alcohol onto the connection. Make sure it's all dried off before you try it again. Let's bang that in again and see if we can fix that. And that didn't work. It's always worth a try doing that, because sometimes that will fix it. But that one will not be going into my quantity listing because it doesn't work. So I'll be chucking that in the bin. Right, so I've just come across a very common issue that you get with secondhand Wiis, which is where you try to format it and it asks you to enter a PIN code. Now this wouldn't be a very good Wii related video if I didn't show you how to fix that. So obviously if we're selling this Wii, we want to format it and we want to get rid of the parental controls. Now before we go ahead and do that, the first thing that you need to do is go over to calendar. And you just want to check that the date and time are the same as the actual date and time. So there we've got 18/06/2018, which is definitely not the date and time. So what we want to do is enter that there. So that's 17/07/25, 17/07/25, we'll confirm that, and then we'll go over to time. The time is currently 15:30, so we'll change that too. It's a very important step to do this first before you do anything else. So once that's done, you then go over to parental controls and it'll ask you to change. You say yes, and then you click I forgot again. And then it gives you this code here. So what we want to do is take that code and then enter it onto this website here. Now I'm going to link this website in the description. So I've just entered the code that the console gave me there, and then you just click reset code, and then it will give you this code here. So the next thing you want to do is type that code back into the console here. So we've got 99213. 99213. You click OK. OK. Parental controls have been disabled. So now once that's done, we can now go over to format memory, format, and there we go. We've managed to get the lock off and now we're formatting the console. So as you can see, this is a very useful tool to have. So I'd recommend bookmarking this into your web browser. Now you can also get a similar tool to this that work on DS's, 2DS's, 3DS's, and I think Switches as well. So if you want to use them as well, pretty much any Nintendo console, all the links will be in the description. Right, time for a little update. As you can see behind me, all of that stuff has been cleared. We're finally finished. It only took me 2 straight days to get it done, but we're finally there. So let me do a little walk round and I'll show you where we're at now. Right, so we'll start here, and this is all the stuff that isn't going to be going into my main quantity listing. So the first thing is these 3 consoles here. Now these are the version 2 Wiis, and these ones aren't GameCube compatible. They don't have the side flaps. These ones are less desirable, so I don't put those in my main listing. But what I do with these when I do get them is just list them separately. So what I'm going to do is grab the cables and everything I need for it, and then I'm going to bundle in some of these games that we found discs and cases for. So we've got 3 Mario Karts there, so I'll put Mario Kart with each one, and then I'll go in the back room, I'll find a few more foddery games. I've probably got loads of them laying around, bundle a few up with them, and then we'll probably be getting like maybe 50 quid per bundle for those. I'm going to make another quantity listing using these 3 Mario Karts. These have all been cleaned. I'll sell those as disc only. I don't know the prices yet, but it'll probably be about £5 each. Wii Party, that'll be getting sold separately. That's also been cleaned. Mario Party 8 I will be selling separately as well. I think that's about £15–20, I'm not too sure. I'm going to make another quantity listing for these Wii Classic controllers. So we've got 4 of those and they sell for about £8 each. And then these MotionPlus inside remote, I sell those for about 20 to 25 pounds. What I normally do is I'll bundle a nunchuck, a silicone cover and a wrist strap with that. And then you can even get sometimes about 30 pounds for the white ones and the black ones. And then over here, unfortunately, whenever you do this kind of thing, you're always going to get stuff that doesn't work. So all of these controllers have been tested and they've all got some sort of fault with them. Now, I could probably try and fix some of these. I just don't have time because it obviously is quite time consuming. So what I'm going to do with those is just do a job lot of faulty remotes. And I think it works out maybe £2–3 per remote. Haven't worked that out yet. Let's see how many we've got. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 24. So you're looking at probably maybe 50, 60 quid if you're getting a couple of quid each. There is a couple of MotionPlus ones in there. And in here, I think I have actually got loads more of those. So this is my faulty controller box. So what I'll probably do is pull all of these out of here and then I'll bundle those up into that big job lot. There's quite a lot of them in here. So I reckon I could potentially get like maybe 70, 80 pounds for a load of broken Wii remotes. And then I do have a couple here which have a very slight fault with them. So both of these, the A button is a bit stiff. Now, I know that's very easy to fix. All you've got to do is take it apart and clean the inside contacts under the buttons with a bit of alcohol, put it back together, and they will both work. I can probably do that in about 5 minutes on both of them, so they are worth fixing because it won't take me very long. And then down here, this box is all the stuff that's tested but still needs to be cleaned. I've been very lucky that my mum has been doing all the cleaning for me. It saved me a huge amount of time. It would have took me probably a whole week to get through all this stuff on my own. But as I've been testing it, I've been chucking it in this box. She's been cleaning it. And yeah, she's just going to come up here in a spare time and just gradually work through this box until it's all done. And then in here, we have all the stuff that is tested and cleaned. So we'll start with this box here. This is all of the silicone covers and also all of the wrist straps. So I do include these in my listings, and before I do that I chuck all of these in the washing machine with a little bit of bleach and they clean up very, very nice. So yeah, it's just a nice little sort of touch to add with the listings. This box here is obviously all of the Mario Kart wheels. We've got 2 full boxes of consoles here. So Mum's gone through all of those, cleaned them all up, very, very nice. A lot of them did have the side flaps missing, which we've replaced using spare packs of flaps that I buy off of AliExpress. We did run out of those, so there's a couple here that still need them. I've ordered a load more. They should hopefully be here not too long. It can take a couple of weeks because they're coming from China. And then in this box, we've got all of the remotes. They've all obviously been cleaned and tested. We've all got battery covers. We've got all the nunchucks, all the MotionPlus, black ones there, black nunchucks. All of the cables that have been cleaned so far are all in here. And I have actually had to make an overflow box because I've got so much of this stuff. Obviously all these boxes are full now. I've had to start chucking stuff in this one, so we've got a load more consoles in there, a few cables. Once all that stuff in the back room is cleaned, that'll easily fill this box, and I'm probably going to need a second overflow box. I do want to get some much better fitting boxes to go in here, so I can get 3 sort of layers of boxes. Currently I can only stack them up 2 high. I could actually adjust this shelf up a bit to accommodate a 3rd layer, but I can easily fill this entire bottom shelf here just with Wii stuff. So as you can see, that has been a hell of a lot of work, but I'm very glad that it's done. Now, it's taken me 2 days, as I mentioned, but I've done a little bit of a tally up to work out how much value I have here with all this Wii stuff, and it's quite surprising. So in total, it comes to roughly £4,000. So I've had £4,000 worth of Wii stuff just sitting on shelves for months. Yes, it's taken me 2 days, but if I can obviously make £4,000 out of 2 days work, then that's pretty good going. But yes, I'm going to leave the video there. I'm going to crack on now, trying to list some of this stuff. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Give us a little comment, let me know what you thought. If you've got any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.